Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I have an excuse to make some content. I'm going to be holding my microphone because for some reason it's not very, what's the word? As sensitive as I'd like it to be for whatever reason. But anyway, recently my channel celebrated, I guess, its 2-year anniversary. It's been 2 years running now, so the channel's been around that long. I I mean that's a milestone, I guess. Um, I've had a few topics swimming around my head that I've wanted to cover for a minute now. The world's burning as we speak. Uh, it's hard to ignore it, but it's it's important to focus on your own happiness, which is what I've been doing the past few months. I was recently at FanimeCon in San Jose and had an absolute blast. Super happy. But of course, it was inescapable, whether it be memes that my friends were showing me or maybe a protester here and there. Because on everybody's mind was the Uvalde shooting and the Buffalo shooting, and of course, the Supreme Court and Roe versus Wade. Someone dressed in an army outfit, like a military uniform, was holding a sign in front of Khan. I wish I got a picture of it. It was basically saying, women need to mobilize now. Basically, the gist of the sign was like, they're not going to stop at Roe versus Wade. They intend to turn women into property. Step by step, And, of course, it stuck with me because in the midst of all this fun and joy and happiness, there was this sobering, just sign, the sobering reality. It's undeniable. Before I get deeper into that, though, I just want to say, it's because of Twitter that I'm able to generate the angst and frustration and anger to actually sit here and record a video for the channel, because I don't really do that much as I'd like to, at least. And another thing that has been just in the back of my mind for months and months, for a long time now, just regarding gender as a whole. I'm so sick of it. I am done arguing with people about the very existence of human beings that do not identify with the gender that they were assigned at birth. Because arguing with people about their very existence plays into the hands of the fascists that want them exterminated, that want them to go away, that don't want them to exist anymore, that see them as a threat to Western values, traditional values, that see them as a tool used by spooky, scary people, fill in the blank, to ruin their personal lives, to destroy civilization. It is yet to make sense to me. It is spread by people whose only motivating element in their life is fear, is paranoia. I don't understand what is so scary about someone who doesn't feel like they were assigned at birth, whose identity doesn't match how society perceives them, how their family perceives them, how they were raised. What harm is being done by being trans? Self-proclaimed fascist Matt Walsh from the tabloid rag Daily Wire that has way too much fucking money is able to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I'm tired of seeing his fucking smug fascist face on my YouTube ads when I don't even consume content even remotely in the vein that he's in. He has a new disgusting documentary out called What is a Woman? Now, why does this exist? Why does a documentary exist? Is a propaganda puff piece to paint trans activists as lunatics, as insane. You don't really get to like understand what it means to be trans or what it means to be born a man and transition into a woman or vice versa unless you actually talk to someone that has gone through it or someone who knows someone close to them who has gone through it. Someone with an agenda like Matt Walsh, a traditionalist, someone who believes in the nuclear family, a man and a woman, 2 children, blah, 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 you know? You're going to count on that motherfucker to tell you what is and what isn't trans? No, of course not. He's going to tell you that they don't exist. Sow as much doubt as possible. That's the point. Because it generates clicks. It generates outrage. This is the only thing that conservatives have going for them, that the far right have going for them, that the GOP have going for them. The fucking culture war. That's it. They don't have policy. They don't want to make life better for you. And so they have to hyper-focus on these irrelevant cultural issues. They have to prey on the oppressed, the discriminated, the powerless, because they're funded by the powerful. If they attack them, well, all of a sudden they're not going to have those hundreds of thousands of dollars to just throw ads spewing their bullshit tabloid nonsense, fear-mongering to their fucking mindless base of drones everywhere on the internet. And they won't be living as luxuriously. Because these are millionaires. They get paid to spread this bullshit. And that's all it comes down to. Selling your soul. Candace Owens. Ben Shapiro. Matt Walsh. Glenn Greenwald, Dave Rubin, Steven Crowder, who is a woman. You can't convince me otherwise. He dresses up as a woman enough as it is. He's absolutely a woman, but I don't think Daddy likes that. I don't think his dad wants a... Anyway. So the Amazing Atheist put out a tweet that I think just sums up what is a woman perfectly. Because the documentary wouldn't even need to exist if, for one, Matt Walsh was an honest actor, and the Daily Wire was acting in good faith. Because all you need to do is answer with this. From the brilliant philosophical mind of the Amazing Atheists, where is it? What is a woman? A woman is a culturally malleable social designation traditionally imposed upon females at birth that can now be adopted or rejected by anyone at their own individual discretion. That's it. That's it. What is a man? Same thing. A culturally malleable social designation traditionally imposed upon males at birth that can now be adopted or rejected by anyone at their own individual discretion. That's it. There's no harm in that. Of course, people will be like, no, it's actually a woman is a female. Not all women were born female. Why is that so hard to grasp? I've held this position for a long time. Like I mentioned earlier, society will never truly progress, at least in the Western world, the United States in particular. It will never truly advance. It will never truly just move forward until we get over and just drop the issue of gender. Does gender play a role in society worth keeping in some aspects? Like, absolutely, sure. But we need to get the fuck over the fact that some men were born a woman, and some women were born as a man. Until we get over that, like, what is the hang up? What harm is being done? Oh, insert anecdote here, right? Insert radical, like, extreme fringe example here, right? No. If we design society based on the most fringe elements, the most fringe examples of this, that, and the other, we would look like just the most brutal, totalitarian, dystopian hellscape ever conceived on this planet. But me, I'm a fan of freedom. I'm a fan of liberty. I'm a fan of democracy. Because to me, those are far less cringe than what I mentioned before. So when it comes to women, since we're on the subject, it's no joke, yeah. The future in America is absolutely bleak. The Buffalo shooter touched on this, and of course, he wasn't the only one, but there's a theory going around, you know? It's been around for a while, but more conservatives tend to believe it than previously thought, which is very, very disturbing, and this is the Great Replacement theory. It is a baseless conspiracy that there's this faceless group of people, insert fucking liberal leftist smear here, whatever, that white people are going to be ultimately replaced by immigrants. I'm not going to get too much into it, but either way, the only truth, like, at all, the only modicum of truth is that birth rates are kind of somewhat declining a little bit in the United States. And white people are destined to become a minority, basically. And so this is scaring the absolute shit out of all the racists, because, like, of course, their entire ideology operates solely off of fear. And so people like the Buffalo Shooter are acting out. And what is a conservative to do about the decline of the white population? What's a long-term strategy? What could be used to ensure that white people remain dominant, but like frame it in a way to where, like, we're saving lives. We're doing this for everybody. We're doing it for all Americans. You force women to give birth. You outlaw abortion. Because we're so scared of immigrants, right? Spooky scary. Even though, statistically speaking, for years and years and years, immigrants commit less crime than American citizens. It's all fear. It's all based in fear. That's all it is. And so what comes next? Outlaw abortion? How far would that go? Sure, it'll go back to the states. But then what? Republicans somehow regain power and maintain it because the Democrats are too motherfucking weak. Because the GOP is yet to be ousted from society. A far gone extremist fascist party that wants to turn America into a theocracy, weaponizing the Supreme Court, which is doing egregious things right now. Recently, they just said proof of innocence via evidence is not enough to overturn a guilty verdict. Not enough to drop your charges. Something along those lines. What the fuck does that mean? Think about it. That can go for anybody. The Republicans are going to utilize whatever means they can to strip more bodily autonomy away from women. Turn them into incubators. Turn women into property. Reverse civil rights for centuries. This is the future of America. Bodily autonomy, it'll be a thing of the past. I don't have much more else to say other than the fact that this is a real pressing issue that I think everybody needs to keep in mind. If you like this, comment, like, subscribe, share this, please. I'll see you all very soon. Follow me on Twitter.